He's like, because if you won't give a dime out of $1, you won't give 10 out of 100. You won't give 100 out of 1,000. You won't give 1,000 out of 10,000. You won't give anything out of 100,000 because you'll always say, when I make more, I'll give.
Kyle Pettit is the special ops veteran turned business leader on a mission to prove that success is about community, not just commission.
I flew in the back of a special operations plane called the AC-130 gunship, Spectre's spooky gunship. Afghanistan started to just crumble. It was just chaos. And we were doing these crazy 12 to 15-hour sorties. Super lucky getting out of the military that I found this and that it worked out. I really analyzed the things that I love and the things that I hate. Like the things that I hate doing and kind of what brings me joy, which is like the world's on, like everything's on fire. You're the point man. You got to put it all out. Like you're coordinating between multiple agencies and entities and people and whatever. And I was like, real estate kind of seems like that. Like, it sounds kind of dope.
All right, folks. So we want to take a quick minute to introduce our diamond sponsor, Chris Seegers with Exceptional Business Advisors. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your business, sir?
Man, a question that we love to ask our potential clients is, do you know what your business is worth? And if you sold your business today, would it fulfill your personal and financial goals? If you're a successful business owner, but you don't know when or how to sell your business, and if you've ever wondered what each additional day in your business is actually costing you, we'd love to chat. If you're ready to spend more time with your family, your friends, or traveling, come sit down with our team, because when you work with exceptional business advisors, we'll help you build a blueprint to sell your business successfully and help you create, capture, and achieve your dream life. Don't wait for the right time. The time's now. Go ahead and scan the QR code or book a discovery appointment at excoadvisors.com.
Now let's get back to the show. Welcome back to the Colorado Business Podcast, not the COS Business Podcast anymore, because we have rebranded, if you can tell. All right, so who is our highlighted sponsor for today?
We got Junkin Halls,
Ooh.
junkinhall.com. Pretty simple.
Yeah.
They do junk removal around Colorado Springs. They're great. Owned by Fred, who was on our episode.
Oh, yeah.
Episode 280 something, I'm sure, that he was on.
Few months ago.
Good guy.
Few. Yeah. All right, so today we have on Kyle Pettit, who has been really hitting the ground running with real estate, specifically VA real estate, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's insane. If my research is correct, you've been doing some crazy numbers, right?
It's yeah. It's been pretty good. I've been really fortunate. What I'll say is this is where I feel blessed, or I feel really fortunate, because I do work really hard.
Mm-hmm.
My wife, it bothers her.
Okay.
I never considered myself a workaholic, but I got into this business and I really love it. And so where I feel blessed and really fortunate is that I'm good at it and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
That I feel like is so hard to find in a job. Cause like I know a lot of people that love real estate and aren't good at it. And also people that are good at it and hate
Don't love it. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just feel really, really fortunate. Like I really enjoy the job. It it energizes me. It's the first thing I think of when I wake up in the morning. Like I think about it all the time. I always want to do it. So I just felt really super lucky getting out of the military that I found this and that it worked out.
Yeah.
It's been great.
Do you think that will last? Do you feel that dissipating at all?
It has, no.
Okay.
It hasn't dissipated at all. No, energy has picked up and we've just continued to build and grow and scale. So it's been awesome.
And that makes it even more exciting, I bet. Yeah.
It does. Yeah. Because it's like, if I can maintain the same amount of focus on the business, but like I can hire help. And, you know, like this year I hired my first assistant, which was really, really cool. It was really scary. But then like the second I did it, I was like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever, you know? So, no, 2026, I intend to keep growing and just being an active part of the community as well. Like that's like the cool thing about real estate is sales is not my favorite. I really don't like, I tried selling cars before, very bad. I tried doing like door-to-door sales, don't shoot me, but not good. But this is just a little bit different because like, I just really learned that like a lot of high producing realtors are very active in the community. They're putting on events for their clients. And like, you know, last year, I don't know if you guys saw, but we did the Easter egg drop from the helicopter. We dropped 5,000 eggs from a helicopter.
Yeah.
And we just opened it to the public. We were like, whoever wants to come out. We had over 1,000 people come out. Like,
that's fun.
Like that is so wild. So to get to like participate and stuff like that and have a business.
I think that's
pretty awesome.
That's an awesome marketing thing too, because I mean, VA is your thing, and that feels like it would attract a lot of your target audience.
Yeah.
Like having a helicopter dropping eggs out.
100%. I mean, anybody likes that. Not a lot of people have exposure to it, but and it is funny though, because it's like I do a lot of content for the VA, right? So like mostly because nobody taught me. When I like bought my first house, I was like, well, I was living with roommates and then I got married and I was like, I guess this is what I'm supposed to do. I should buy a house. That seems reasonable. And I did it and it was so easy. I was like, what? That was the process? Okay. My realtor was great. Still friends with her to this day. But then there was like a bunch of stuff that like, it's such a complex loan product that to maximize it, you kind of have to understand. And so there were some opportunities that I really missed and some misconceptions. When I got out, I thought I was going to go do X, Y, and Z. And then it was like, that's not how that loan works. And I was like, oh. And even today, there's realtors that like have complete misconceptions. Like, for example, I talked to a client yesterday and she was like, yeah, we decided to use you because you know how to use the VA loan. Well, we went to an open house, told this other agent that we already had a house with the VA loan. And she was like, you can't use it again. And we were like, well, that's empirically false. And so we were like, just that's how I got into the education side of it. Because I was literally just like, how do I wish somebody would have told me about this? That's what I'm going to do. And so it's kind of all funneled in together. And it's been a fun way to kind of build the business and stay active in the social media land,
You've been active. Oh yeah. The last month you've been almost daily. And then the last 2 years you've been almost every other day.
Yeah. It's been crazy. But part of it is because I got help from an assistant.
Okay.
And so now like I'm able to like keep up and kind of repost some things that are kind of evergreen and then also like explore some new creative outlets and do some fun stuff like that has nothing to do with real estate.
It's cool, man.
Some skiing and hunting and stuff thrown in there. People are like, what?
What's your personality, right? That's like that's what social media is. And like your Instagram specifically, like it's almost at 15,000 followers, which is incredible. Talk about like the genesis of creating that, because again, like you are essentially covering all the things about Colorado Springs, whether it's restaurants. I know we're going to talk about Totem here a little bit later. Different cool spots, houses, of course, too, as well. Things to visit, things to do. What was the genesis of you creating a profile like that?
Oh, yeah.
We'd like to take a quick break and thank our sponsors.
Lightning Glassworks and Screens. Lightning Glassworks and Screens is Colorado's go-to for fast, reliable window and glass repair.
Family owned for over 30 years, their mobile service team brings glass in a flash right to your home or business.
Call or text 719-649-4001 or visit fastglassrepair.com.
Lightning Glassworks, Colorado Springs, local experts in glass repair, and window replacement.
Bright Leaf Energy. Bright Leaf Energy is revolutionizing how businesses approach sustainability.
They're the experts in building decarbonization, bringing collaboration, innovation, and flexibility to every project.
Whether you need a strategic decarbonization roadmap or flexible engineering support to scale your team, Bright Leaf helps you crush your ESG goals while optimizing facility performance.
Learn more at brightleafenergy.com. That's brightleafenergy.com.
Junkin Hall.
Need to clear out clutter fast?
Junkin Hall is Colorado Springs' go-to for same-day junk removal.
With the eco-friendly service and a 5-star team you can trust.
Visit junkinhall.com to schedule your free estimate today. That's JUNKNHAUL.com.
Bolton Co. Executive Coaching.
Up feels better than stuck. You know that. But in this market, how do you get unstuck and get ahead as an executive?
Our guy, JB, is an executive coach at Bolton Co. Coaching, where he believes you don't have to change who you are. You just need an injection of effectiveness and a proven competitive edge roadmap for your way up. Head to boltonco.net. That's boltonco.net. Be Our Guest Getaways. Be Our Guest Getaways specializes in Disney cruise resort and theme park vacations.
Planning a Disney vacation can be stressful. Let Be Our Guest Getaways provide you with concierge-level service for free.
Learn more at beourguestgetaways.com. That's beourguestgetaways.com.
Planet Duct. Planet Duct is the #1 choice for professional air duct cleaning in Colorado Springs and Southern Colorado. With state-of-the-art equipment and top-tier service, they make sure the air in your home or business is clean and allergen-free. Breathe easier with Planet Duct. Learn more at planetduct.com. Awesome Home Services.
Awesome Home Services delivers top-notch HVAC solutions for your home. Whether you need heating, cooling, or system maintenance, they ensure your comfort year-round. Visit awesomeservice.com for your HVAC needs. That's awesomeservice.com.
Proud American Electrical and Solar.
Give Proud American Electrical and Solar a call today for all your electrical and solar needs. They are locally owned and operated business right here in Colorado Springs. If you're looking for information on solar, this is the company you will want to call. Check out their website at proudamericansolar.com. Use promo code COSBusiness for a 5% discount today.
Pinnacle Advanced Primary Care. Pinnacle Advanced Primary Care offers affordable, accessible healthcare with a focus on you. They provide exceptional primary care without the hassle of insurance barriers. Experience a patient-centered approach. Learn more at pinnacleapc.com.
And now let's get back to the show.
Yeah, good question. I would say it's because, it started with, we have a YouTube channel, the Beresford Group, that's the real estate team that I'm currently on. We have a YouTube channel called Living in Colorado Springs. And it kind of started where we were like kind of spotlighting places around the Springs, but YouTube really wasn't the format for that. And so that channel really became like people that find out that they're moving to Colorado Springs, whether they're PCSing or they got a new job or they're just like, we're tired of living in the Texas heat. That happens a lot. And they decide that they're moving here. And so, but they realize is like, when you type in living in Colorado Springs or whatever it is, you want to see it, and like seeing pictures doesn't really help that much. So the YouTube channel was really based on helping people understand what it's like to live here, right? It's like us talking about the city and showing. So like last year we spent, oh my God, over half the year doing full neighborhood tours. I mean, some of these videos are an hour and a half long and we're driving through the neighborhoods, like hanging out the back of the truck, GoPros everywhere, drones flying around. Cause we wanted to show people when they ask about Briargate, watch the video. This is like what it is. Because not everybody can afford to fly out here. So that was kind of all tackled. But then how my personal channel kind of started developing was like, first off, I hate it when people are like, Colorado Springs is lame. There's no good food there. That place sucks. I'm like, no, there is good food. You just have to know what it is. So stuff is way too expensive to be spending your money on crappy food.
Right.
I for sure feel that.
You're passionate about that, it seems.
Yeah. It's like, man, if you're going to go spend money, your hard-earned money in this economy, like you better be eating good food. Right. So that was like part of it. And then the other part of it was where my page really started to blow up was when I started talking more about the development stuff that's happening here, businesses opening and businesses closing. And that's really where I think our world started crossing.
Right.
Was because, I just was like, I thought there were some interesting things to talk about, not the everyday news. I don't care about the everyday news, like crime or whatever. It was like, I just wanted to talk about new neighborhoods, new zoning and planning stuff that came out of the meetings, new businesses that failed and closed. Buc-ee's. I mean, that was wild. And that was really what kind of blew up my page, to be honest. I started talking about Buc-ee's and that
it's a hot button topic.
It was a super hot button topic. And so anyway, but what's been
Which
the
is
most
so weird.
yeah. What's been the most fun about that though, was that talking about that stuff has connected me to business owners. Is how I met David at Totem and all these like little business owners, because I'm not asking for anything. Like I literally don't ask for anything. Like sometimes people are like, we'll give you this if you do this video, announcing that we have this event going on. Or I'm like, I don't need that, but I'll do it. I just need content. So it works out.
Right.
But that has been like the most fun part about it. It's kind of like really getting to become a member of the community.
I love it. Well, let's take it back because you talked briefly about being in the military. I know it's a big part of your story, and you originally, or at least you went to college out in Utah. So talk about like kind of your upbringing and like going to college and getting in the military. That's probably a big part of like your story, and then coming here.
Yeah. Well, I went to BYU. So my parents were both in the military. we kind of moved all over the place. I was largely raised in St. Louis, a dark, shadowy place. You must never go there. It's terrible.
Yeah.
And then I went to school out in Utah, and that was when I discovered the Mountain West, and I fell in love with the Mountain West. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is the place. And
Which part of Utah?
I was in Provo.
Okay.
So it's like an hour south of Salt Lake. And that was just awesome. Like you're right at the foot of the mountains, just like here, right?
Yeah,
right
similar to Colorado Springs.
Yeah,
Very similar.
Yeah. Except ski resorts are closer, which is
Okay.
awesome.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. But so I studied broadcast journalism at BYU, and then I was in ROTC, and I was a cheerleader actually in college, which was awesome.
For football or?
Yeah, you cheer for everything.
Oh,
so
nice.
like
Just for
football,
food.
basketball is your main, but like you also go to the volleyball games and the soccer
Oh,
games. And
fun.
you do appearances for the university. That was top 3 best decisions I've ever made. In my life.
Okay.
Like for real. It was so much fun.
That's where the backflip comes from?
That's where the backflip came from.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. So I did that. That was a lot of fun. And then when I graduated, I went to Pensacola. So I commissioned into the Air Force as a second lieutenant, went down to Pensacola for flight school. So you familiar with Top Gun?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have Goose and Maverick.
Mhm.
Okay, so I was a Goose. So
Okay,
like
cool.
the backseater, as it were. Except I didn't fly in fighter jets. I flew in the back of a special operations plane called the AC-130 gunship. The
Which
old
is huge, man.
Spectre,
Mhm.
Spectre spooky gunship. So
Will
So-
will AI one of those crashing into the table real quick?
not crashing.
crashing.
Maybe flying over, doing its little circle. You could take the scene out of Transformers, was like, call in the Spectre gunship. Anyway, so I went to Pensacola for flight school, and then was fortunate enough to go to Air Force Special Operations out of there, went and flew gunships, moved to Clovis, New Mexico. Very, very small town on the east side of New Mexico, like 30,000 people, largely exists because the military is still there. It's like an hour and a half from Lubbock. And I moved there, and I was in the gunship community for about 7.5 years. I was in the Air Force for a total of 9 years. So I stayed in New Mexico my whole career, and then deployed out of there. I went on 5 separate deployments, mostly Iraq and Syria, and then wrapped it up in 2021 with the evacuation, if you want to call it that, out of Afghanistan.
Oh, that's when you wrapped up.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was my last deployment. So we were in Iraq and Syria flying and kind of like doing counter ISIS missions over there. And then Afghanistan started to just crumble over the summer. And so we ended up closing up shop, packed up all our stuff, moved to another base. And then we were flying. We weren't in Afghanistan, but we were flying into Afghanistan. And we were doing these crazy 12 to 15 hour sorties, hitting multiple like air refuelers in one.
What are
sortie.
sorties?
Sortie is a flight.
Okay.
Yeah.
good.
So from like takeoff to landing.
Gotcha.
So super long flights. You'd take off, you'd fly kind of like around Iran, hit a tanker, fill up with gas in the air, and then we'd fly up through Pakistan, and then we'd hit another tanker, and then we'd fly to wherever we were going in Afghanistan, do our mission and do whatever we could.
Mhm.
And then you're like watching your fuel, and you're like, okay, gotta go. Cause it was like a 4-hour flight home.
Wow.
So you had to have enough gas to, get back
Home is the base you're at?
Yeah. Yeah. So that was, I mean, like I said, I was on 5 deployments in a gunship, did a lot of really wild stuff, but that trip was bananas. Just Afghanistan falling apart like that. And it was just chaos. And like, it was a hot mess. And that was when I decided, I was like, I'm done with this. My wife had already come up here. She was at the Air Force Academy. So we flew gunships together. That was how we met. She's a pilot. So she's a
That's awesome.
Maverick and I'm a Goose. So there's 2 pilots on our plane, and then 2 gooses on my plane. And then 3 gunners, and we had an engineer. And so she was one of the pilots. And then it's called a combat systems officer. Anyway, so she had come up here to fly for the skydiving team, the Wings of Blue. She was a pilot for them and like a skydiving instructor.
I didn't even know they had a skydiving
Oh
team.
yeah.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
That's like their big recruiting thing. They go to air shows. Sometimes they jump into Widener Field. I think they actually jump into Pikes Peak or Bust Rodeo. They jump into Broncos games. They go around town. They're basically the Air Force's like recruitment tool. Yeah. So it's just a bunch of cadets.
How much does it cost to book them for like an event, a rodeo?
Great question.
Like a Pioneer rodeo.
Great question. I don't know. But I know that they book out super far in advance.
Okay. Yeah.
Which is, but they do all kinds of cool stuff. So she was on the skydiving team in college, and then she got picked up for the assignment to come back and be a pilot for them. So that was how she finished out her career. And then she got out last year and flying for United. But anyway, so when she had like moved up here, I was still in New Mexico, and I was like, I'm not staying in New Mexico. I was done with the military. I'd had my fill. And so I decided to move up here. We have this really cool program called Skill Bridge. So you're still active duty, but you have 3 to 6 months to do an internship, basically wherever, as long as it's approved by the DoD. And so we set up this Skill Bridge at one of the brokerages here. And so I was still active duty, but like I belonged to them, and I started working on my license, and basically I just became a part of the brokerage, going to team meetings and, kind of like shadowing people and kind of helping out. And I did that for 5.5 months or so. And then I ended up actually like separating in October. But by that point I had my license and went by myself for just like a little bit. And then I interviewed with a couple teams and had the opportunity to join a team. But man, if I hadn't done Skill Bridge, I don't know if I would have had the guts to get into real estate, because like it's a hard business.
Oh yeah.
I think the statistic is that like 85% of people don't make it 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And it's probably most of that is like within the first 2 or 3 years, because it's kind of an expensive business to maintain. And there's like 6,000 agents in Colorado.
I was just about
Springs.
to say that. Yeah, it's very saturated here. Like,
I mean,
it's a
kind of
popular
saturated
spot.
everywhere. Yeah.
Well, this is particularly here though.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
competitive as hell.
And I think it just like, I think people just kind of have like unrealistic expectations that like, but I told you I have my license. Why didn't you hire me?
Yeah.
And
Pitch his voice up 2 notches for that part.
So I just, I got into the business, and I had done a lot of self-reflection before I chose real estate. And so it was a very, very deliberate choice. It wasn't just like, maybe it's a get rich quick scheme or,
Right.
To me, it was like, I really analyzed the things that I love and the things that I hate, like the things that I hate doing, and kind of what brings me joy, which is like the world's on, like everything's on fire. You're the point man. You got to put it all out. Like you're coordinating between multiple agencies and entities and people and whatever. And I was like, real estate kind of seems like that. Like, it sounds kind of dope.
Yeah.
So it has been. It's been awesome.
That's awesome, man. Well,
Yeah.
what a cool story. So when you
Thanks.
got settled here with your wife, so did you guys get your own house right away, or was that all kind of settled in that transition as well?
Yeah, she had already bought a house because she moved up here like a year prior.
Okay, so she was already in a house. Okay,
Yep,
gotcha.
Yep. So she moved up here prior, was up here for about a year. And then I moved up and moved in with her. And then we actually ended up this last year, we bought a house over on the other side of town, over on the west side of town. And
Oh, nice.
we took a big project and we renovated the whole house, like literally gutted the whole thing and rebuilt it. And that was a monster project, but it was so cool. It turned out like.
That's
pretty
awesome,
rad.
man. What part of town are you in?
We're right off of, do you know where the Buffalo Lodge Resort is?
Yeah.
So like Old Colorado City, you go up Colorado Avenue, and then right before you get to Manitou is Columbia. And it's like this old bicycle resort, like with all these little studios that you can rent and stay in. It's kind of a cool spot. It's like right near the entrance of Garden of the Gods. So, but if you go past it, it's like this neighborhood. It's called Garden Edge, technically, is kind of the subdivision. So we're like 100 meters from Garden of the Gods.
Oh my God.
It's pretty rad. Yeah. We have like the south entrance and there's no public access
You
there
just
because there's
hike
nowhere to
right?
park.
Every day, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I would be doing, hiking every day.
Yeah. We take our dogs out there all the time and it's super quiet. That's where all the horse rides go.
Mhm.
Like from the stables, they go like
Oh, yeah.
right past our house. And so in the morning you're like drinking coffee and that's all you hear is like the
Oh, that's
The
great.
clopping.
And
the
that
horses.
place over there, that ranch is great for photographs because it feels like a Western ranch.
Yeah.
And then you have like, it's like a good spot. So-
Yeah. Yeah. It's awesome. So we feel really fortunate. We love it over there. We want it to be closer to the mountain. She's a mountain guide. She does rock guiding and mountain guiding and stuff like that. So she's always in the mountains when she's not flying. And so like just the proximity was really, really important to us.
Have you guys done a lot of great hikes since you moved over here? Because you moved over here officially like 2022? Okay.
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
22. Yes. Yeah, that is a huge part of our life. Like I said, my wife is a mountain guide, so she's always in the mountains.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, we've done a lot of the 14ers. She's done like 45 to 50
So she's almost
of
done.
the 14ers. Yeah, she's pretty close. I am a little bit more scared of heights. So there's some that I've been on, but I won't do, like Capitol. Like I got to the knife's edge and then I was like, I'll just wait here for you guys.
Was it as crazy as everybody says?
True story. So we got there, let's say we got there on Thursday, you hike in and then you camp and then you do it the next day, right? Because it's like a, I don't know, 7-mile hike in, something like that. It's pretty long. On our hike in, there was a search and rescue helicopter going in because a lady, it was her last one. And like, God rest her soul, she fell. Right. She didn't fall off the knife's edge. It was right after that she was just kind of like scrambling along and pulled on something and it came loose and she fell 1,500 feet. So like, as you're walking in, like these search and rescue helicopters coming in, and then we passed people that were on the way out that were up there when it happened. And I was like, I do not need to do that. Y'all can go do it. That's
yeah.
fine. People do it all the time,
Yeah.
right? But I'm not doing it.
Where did you say it was?
That's Capitol Peak.
Yeah.
Where's that?
Capitol is out by Snowmass.
Where's that?
So recently rebranded to Colorado Business Podcast. South of Aspen. Yeah.
Okay,
So
South
you
of
like
Aspen.
drive. Yeah. So you like hit Vail.
I only
and
know
you-
all of the mountains close to here.
Yeah, it's like way out there. It's probably about 4 hours. From
Okay,
here,
gotcha.
4.5.
I also know Buena Vista too.
Northwest.
That's the one we
Mountains.
want to do. I want to do it, but Danielle does. My girlfriend does not want to do it because she's like,
Do
she's like-
Capitol?
she's a big 14er person.
Oh, yeah.
And so we've never done any. That's a class 4, right?
Yeah.
Capital.
Yeah.
So I've done like one class 3,
Yeah.
and we have a friend who's done all of them. So she's like our guide for all. She's like a guide, like
Yeah,
your, like
yeah.
your wife. So she's been amazing, and she's told us all about Capital and stuff too. And I want to do just because I'm not as afraid of heights, but
Lucky.
I can't go downhill, man. Like I'm just like the worst person. So I'm that guy that slips and falls off everything. So
Yeah. It's just kind of like Chaucy on the side of the mountain. It's a little like skosh. Like all of them that did it, what they told me was that it wasn't really like the knife's edge was the knife's edge, but you're just kind of like scooting across
Right.
it, you know? But it was like, it's like you cross this ridge and then you're going up the face and the face is just really loose. And that was like, they said that part was way scarier than the knife's edge. And I was like,
So hold on. You were a pilot and you're afraid of heights?
combat systems officer, but yes.
Okay.
So it's a little bit different though. Like
You're in a machine.
I'm not going to fall out of the
Yeah,
plane.
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like exposure, like some of
Oh, yeah.
those hikes, like you're just looking,
Oh,
that's
for
like
sure.
a 1,500 foot fall.
oh yeah,
There's one in, have you ever heard of Chicago Basin?
oh yeah. I've heard of all of the
Dude,
all the big ones.
Chicago Basin is maybe the most beautiful place in Colorado. So incredible. Like you take the train, you
Train
take the
in, right?
Durango Silverton train out there, and then you get off in the middle of nowhere, and you hike up 6.5 miles. And
Oh, that's
it's this beautiful basin. There's 4 14ers out there. There's mountain goats and marmots and porcupines. There's everything.
Oh yeah.
It's so cool. But one of the mountains is called Eolus. And you get up there, you get up onto the ridge, and then you have to cross this thing called the catwalk. And the catwalk is very long, and it is no kidding, like that wide, like as wide as half this table.
Mm.
And you're just like, that to me, that's not wide enough. I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
And so like I stood up and we have this video. My wife was like, you ready to go? And I was like, I'm not doing that. And she was like, okay, are you sure? And I was like, yup, I'm going to stay right here. She was with her friend Carly. So they ended up doing it. She was like, do you mind if I go? And I was like, no, I don't care. I'm just not going because like my body just kind of like shuts down. Like I kind of like lose, I don't know if it's like vertigo or what, but
Well, I think I know the feeling when I was a kid. The long, big, like swirly slides. I used to like get that same feeling, but But eventually I did do it and then I loved it. So
yeah. I think like exposure to exposure makes you more comfortable with exposure.
Yeah.
You know? But like you got to kind of work up there and
For
like
sure,
going on to the catwalk. I was
that's
like,
pretty balls to the
absolutely
balls.
not.
Yeah.
So props to you. If you would like what you should do, if you want a taste, is Grays and Tories. Have you done those ones?
So I haven't done Grays and Tories
Okay.
yet.
Super boring, by the way. Like maybe the most boring next to Bierstadt. However, there is a ridge called Kelso Ridge. And so Kelso goes up to Tories. And so like you'll see just this giant Congo line because it's so easy to do that mountain. It's like a lot of people do it as their first and second. Because we're like, oh, we can bag 2 peaks at the same time. But you go over to this ridge line and it's like a class 3 scramble kind of up the whole way. And it's very fun. And there is a mini knife's edge. And I say mini, it's still a real knife's edge, but like you get to do some like really cool, like class 3, maybe light class 4, like kind of problem sets, but super fun. I've done that one twice.
Oh,
and I don't like exposure, but that one is like the most fun way to get to the top of a 14 that I've ever done.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I've done a ton of them, but yeah, I haven't done those ones.
should
But
do
that'd be
those.
so much fun.
Yeah, you should.
That's great. Well, let's kick it back to Totem because that's a new restaurant that's open in town. You recently highlighted them and I got to try it out it was like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Fantastic spot. But it's because you highlighted Totem. I went to the Well previously, loved the Well too, got to hang out there with Andrew and Edgar many times, and didn't even know that Totem had opened up.
Yeah.
And so once you highlighted it on it, it was just, I was like, man, look at the food here. So talk a little bit about it because I know you wanted to give them a shout out.
Okay. Well, let me say this because I'm super glad that that's how you found out about it. And I say that because I did this other video that also kind of went like somewhat viral, kind of in TikTok land, and it was about this little set of restaurants that had like closed in 3 months. They had opened and then 3 of the 5 closed. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
And I did this video and I was a little spicy in the video because the owner was like, yeah, the community just didn't show up. And I was like, what? I've never even heard of you. And all the comments were also like, what? Who are you? Like, yeah, we didn't show up because we didn't know who you are. Like, we didn't know that you guys even existed or your model was so confusing. And so I started adding this call that was like, if you are opening a restaurant or you like, because that's what I really try to focus on. I'm not trying to just do like shout outs for restaurants necessarily. There's other pages for that are like far better, like Exploring Colorado Springs, Kim Witten, Megan, she's great.
Oh yeah.
Like there's some really great pages for that. But for me, it was like, who's opening? If you want the public to know that you're opening, I am free advertisement, bro. Like tell me, I will put it out there. So, and then it started working. People started reaching out. They're like, we're opening up like our little shop or we're going to be at the farmer's market. And I was like, great. Like, so we started building that way. And then I actually saw Totem. I think it was like an ad on Instagram or something. Like I had seen them pop up and I was like, that place looks bougie. Like inside it's so pretty, right? Like the decor, the ambiance, like everything looks really good. And I was like, dang. But I didn't get to go there right away. And then I finally did go. We went, I actually went with Kim, Exploring Colorado Springs, and Candace Holland, and then her husband and my wife was there. So it was a little group of us. And it was our first time going there. And we were just like blown away. We were like, what is this place? Like everything that we got was the nachos, so good. I got this steak and shrimp burrito, so good. The burger, so good. The pizza, so we were like everything that like they touched just like turned to gold. Then we went over to the bakery and Candace goes over to the bakery and she was like, I couldn't choose, so I just got them all. So they brought us 7 tarts and then we kind of like cut them into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces each and kind of like all had like our own little sampling of them. And then we met David because he was out there and they were just constantly checking and kind of like, hey, what's like, is everything okay? Could we have done anything better? And I thought that was really interesting. He was really focused on that. At this point, I didn't know that like their reviews that they had gotten hammered. And we were just like, man, this is amazing. So I took a bunch of video. Kim took a bunch of photos. Candace took a bunch of photos. And we all were like separately, like, let's do our own content about this place and like really try to buoy it up because it deserves it. And we did. And like, first off, it worked out great. But more importantly, like we go back there, dude, almost like once a week. Like we go back all the time. I've been back for brunch. Friends come into town. I'm like, we're going to Totem. Like clients are in town. We're going to Totem just because it's so good. And then we've built a good relationship with David, the owner. And they just care so much about putting out a good product. I think they got hammered a little bit early because they opened before the staff was fully trained, and they were still like working out some kinks. And I think unfairly people wrote them off because I can't tell you how many comments I've seen. They're like, well, I've heard mixed things. And I'm like, shut up. If you've heard, like, go figure it out for yourself. And if you like it, leave a review. Right. But I think sometimes people just kind of like, they forget how powerful and permanent, by the way, those reviews are. It's like, man, if you had bad service, couldn't you have just like told the manager? I know it's a little bit more direct, but like, let them sort it out. It's early in the business, but I don't know anybody that goes in there now and has any complaints. People complain about it's expensive, but I think it's quality food. I think it's priced appropriately. It's $18 to $22 for a plate of food, which is pretty much any restaurant. Yeah, any sit-down restaurant. It's like $18 to $22. I just don't get drinks there because drinks are expensive.
Yeah.
But man, everything that we've had, they have this new menu item, steak sandwich, which I was like, what? A steak sandwich? It is the best steak sandwich you will ever eat in your life. It's like tender steak and like it's huge. There's so much meat in there. It's crazy.
Is it like a burger or is it like a sub?
Like not like a sub. I'm going to say it's slices of sourdough because I don't know what kind of bread it is, but like think of it like that. So it's like, looks like a real, like legit sandwich. Yeah.
I think they had like spring rolls or something on their menu and it was freaking.
Yeah. What'd you get?
That's what I got. Like we got like appetizers and I got like this spring. I think it was a spring roll. But like a normal spring roll is kind of like smaller, more slender. Theirs was like freaking fully loaded burrito. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
They're like
Chipotle.
It's only 2 and they're cut in half. I'm like, well, that's not gonna be enough for us 3 or 4 or whatever. And then they came out and they're like these big monster. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
This looks incredible. And it was good.
Pretty much really everything that they make, man, is freaking. I haven't had anything that I didn't like.
We're going to take a quick break to thank our sponsors. Rain Tech. Rain Tech is a trusted IT partner that keeps your business running smoothly.
From cybersecurity to cloud solutions and data recovery, they've got your back so you can focus on what you do best.
Learn more at rain.tech. That's RAIN.tech. HR branches.
Is your back office chaos? Are you buried in HR, payroll, and financial guesswork?
Your passion shouldn't be a prison. Savion HQ is your fractional back office partner. We merge HR, payroll, accounting, and tax to bring order to the chaos and make your passion profitable again.
Stop the bleed, get your freedom back. Find us at savionhq.com or email at hello@savionhq.com.
Data Hubs is a compliance, intelligence, and orchestration platform that helps organizations meet the requirements of frameworks like ISO 27001, SOC2, CMMC, HIPAA, GDPR, and more.
Data Hubs gives small and mid-sized businesses a premium compliance experience while cutting down the time, cost, and stress it usually takes to get across the finish line. Learn more at datahubs.com. That's DATAHUBZ.com.
Reveal Med Spa. Look and feel your best at Reveal Med Spas. With personalized plans that deliver real results, radiant skin, restored confidence, and natural rejuvenation.
At Reveal Med Spa, we see you. More than just aesthetic and wellness treatments, we provide a safe, judgment-free space where you feel valued, heard, and supported.
Visit revealmedspas.com.
I think it is literally just that too. We'll just double check. Book your next session at revealmedspas.com. That's revealmedspas.com.
Fast Signs.
From banners to vehicle wraps, Fast Signs delivers custom visual solutions to help your business stand out. Their team ensures your message is clear, bold, and effective. Get your signage needed handled at fastsigns.com. That's fastsigns.com.
Dream Accounting Solutions. Take the stress out of managing your books with Dream Accounting Solutions. They provide reliable expert accounting services tailored to small businesses. Simplify your finances at dreamaccountingsolutions.com. That's dreamaccountingsolutions.com.
Exponential Impact. Exponential Impact is driving innovation and entrepreneurial success in Colorado Springs. Supporting startups with mentorship, funding, and community resources, they help businesses grow and thrive. Learn more about their impact at exponentialimpact.com. That's exponentialimpact.com.
And now let's get back to the show.
Speaking of appetizers, though, have you guys been to Night Ramen?
Not yet. No.
Dude, maybe the best app. Like their appetizers, their food is good, but their appetizers, brother.
They're good.
What part of town?
Same part of town.
Very close. Actually, right down the street.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What street is that?
Is that Wasatch?
It's I think it's on Wasatch
Pikes Peak
and
or
Weber or Pikes Peak. It is Pikes Peak.
It's Pikes Peak, right? Yeah.
Pikes Peak is where Totem is. And I think one more over is Weber, whatever it is.
Mhm.
And I think that's where Night Ramen is. Their appetizers, like their crab ragoon and like, I can't even remember what else they have. Their edamame is super good. I mean, it's like mouth-watering. So good.
We're big about trying new restaurants. And so we tried the new
Yes.
Indian restaurant right down the road, Masalas. That one was like so freaking
That's
good.
over here?
Yes, it's downtown
Oh.
too.
The one that they already closed, I think.
No, it's another one.
Oh, it's the one off of no.
It's closer to Kinship Landing area.
Oh.
Well, that's the one that just closed.
Is it?
Yeah. They were only open for like not even a year, I don't think. Yeah.
Gas.
wow.
That location is. It seems like they're just cycling out.
Wow.
I don't know if
that
it's the
one was
location.
really
like,
good. Well, they
That's
also opened
rough.
like 4 or 5 at once. The family that owns that, so I don't know
Okay.
if it's like one of those things too. But I mean, there's some great restaurants.
Have you been to Mossam?
What's Mossam?
Mausam. Okay, so this one's in Old Colorado City, like almost all the way west as you're getting closer to Safeway. It's in the same parking lot, Safeway. And then you're kind of getting close to like Manitou Springs. Mossam is an Indian restaurant, but the
know where it
owner is like a 2-time Michelin star chef or something like that, catered for the Prime Minister of India.
What?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, it's that you said it that one right by the Safeway.
Right by the
Yeah,
Safeway.
I've
It was
seen
like
that
it was
one.
like an
looks
old.
awesome.
It was like an old
Golden
Denny's
Corral
or
or
something.
something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was something like that,
Yeah.
like Denny's, Golden Corral, IHOP, something.
Mhm.
And so it's like a nice sit-down Indian restaurant. Like you sit in these very nice like white chairs, and you get these fancy like stone plates, and then all their
Nice.
all their alcohol is like from India, but their food, bro,
You said he was the chef, like some kind of chef.
Michelin star.
like a Michelin
Michelin-
star
oh,
chef.
sweet, nice.
Yeah, like he's like a legit chef. So
Mhm.
everything that you get there is like probably the best that you've ever had for Indian food.
Gosh, that's
Yeah.
awesome, man.
Yeah, super good. So like again, it's like my job is, for example, when I have people come visit from out of town, they're here for the weekend and they're gonna look for a home in Colorado Springs, or maybe it's just they're like, we want to see if we want to live there. I mean, when you travel, like if you go to Paris, you want to eat good food.
Mhm.
Duh.
Mhm.
And like if you have bad food, your trip is kind of ruined, right? If you go to, well, it would never happen in Japan, but if you go to Spain and you don't eat good Spanish food, or you don't eat good French food, or whatever, it's like your vacation's kind of like, it's like a stain on the. I think that the food, I think at a scientific level, it affects our microbiome and if our energy levels and all that stuff. Like, sure, there's science there. But I think it just affects your mood in general. Like when you eat good food, when I eat good food, I'm just like, wow, like what a crazy experience that was in my mouth.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like, I'm not that good at cooking food. And so like, I have mad respect for people like David that are so good at it. Or I don't know his name actually, but the chef at Mossam,
Mhm.
I'm not that good at cooking. So like, I have mad respect for the people that can and just create these experiences. And you're like, wow, we had such a great evening. What'd you do? We just got good food. And then that facilitated a good environment and good conversation. And it just kind of made like our whole experience in Colorado Springs better. So when people come, I send them like my playlist of these are the restaurants worth going to. If it's not on this list, I'm not going to say don't go, but I didn't approve it.
Not Kyle verified.
Yeah, it's not Kyle verified. So eat at your own risk. Although there are a couple that I haven't been to. Like I've never been to Ambly. Have you ever been there?
No, I haven't been there yet.
Yeah, they're the same people that own Latin Social downtown. Fire. Super good. Very bougie.
I was next door to Sushi Row last night that we went
Oh,
to.
nice. We went
Yeah.
to Sushi Roll last night.
Oh,
Have
yeah.
you been there?
Nice. Oh, absolutely
Yeah.
been there. Yeah. So Latin Social is very like upscale, great date night. or like celebrating something. But it's the same people that own Ambly. I've never been to Ambly, but like same people, same style sort of. And so I'm like, I need to get to Ambly. I need to put that on my list for Q1.
Dude, so we had Brother Luck on many times, and he's talked about bringing Michelin back to Colorado Springs and like what the process looks for that, because he wants that to happen. So like whenever those restaurants open up, he kind of wants to band together with those types of chefs to make that happen here, because that's something that we really need here. There's so many. We had a roundtable like 2 weeks ago, and we were talking about just like problems specifically downtown. So we had Chelsea from the Downtown Partnership.
Cool.
We had Brother Luck, local star chef and restaurateur. And it was just such a great conversation talking about the things that we're kind of highlighting here of just like, man, like there's so many cool spots that no one knows about. And how do we get the word out? I mean, like you do such a great job of getting the word out about them. And those other accounts like Megan's Instagram account, all those other ones that do such a great job. And it's just like, man, how can we do a better job of that?
Well, I think that we're on the right track. And I think that, when I first met Mayor Yemi, actually, one of the things that I really liked that he said, it was one of his focuses was he wanted to increase the sense of community in Colorado Springs. And I thought that was really interesting because it was kind of this like a little bit nebulous. That's hard to measure, right? But it was a little bit nebulous because you're like, how do you know if you successfully did it? I don't know. But he actually said it when he was talking about making Colorado Springs. He said he wants to make Colorado Springs the safest city in America. And I was like, that's a bold statement. That's a bold strategy, right? Mm-hmm. And he was like, and I think the number one way to do it is by increasing the strength of the community. And I was like, that's really fascinating. And so it's like, so how do you do that? Well, you have great events, first and foremost, that people want to get out. It was like, post-COVID, it's like you have to get people back into the community. So this year, great example is the OCC Christmas Kindle Market that they did, right? Like, did you ever go to the previous OCC Christmas markets?
No.
Worst thing in the world. Straight up. We went last year and it was like the little house in Bancroft Park where you can take a picture with Santa. There were 2 reindeer in this little pen. One was missing an antler. It was like super depressing. And then there was like, I guess one of the sponsors, it was like a dog training booth, like a booth that you'd see at a farmer's market. And then a Grenadier, the vehicle, like a car dealership put a Grenadier out there. And there was like no music and nothing. And it was like, ooh, not good. Then this year they took that Denver, German Christmas market and then they put it down in OCC. Did you guys get a chance to go to that by chance?
I know it was freaking huge.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Like at all hours of the day when you drove by, people walking in and out. And it was like, that's the type of stuff, right? Like when you go to the rodeo, huge. When you go to the Ascent or the races, all the different races at Pikes Peak, it's like the community really shows up for that type of stuff. Frontier Days. Territory Days.
Uh-huh.
Sorry. Pioneer Days is Utah. Territory Days. Like that whole street gets shut down and it's packed full of people.
Oh yeah.
And so like that is a major way to increase the sense of community. And then I don't know what he did, but like paid off the refs and then the Switchbacks win, a national championship. So it's like, oh my God, we're building this amazing community, whatever. But then I think that the other way is you get people excited about the businesses that are here, right? And wanting to support them. So there's a long-winded way of saying like I think that we're on the right track because our pages, it's cool for me, like, that it's growing, but I think it's more indicative of like what people want. People want connection. They want to go to places that are good. They want to know what events are going on that are worth attending. Supplement Giant hit me up a little while ago and they were like, hey, we're doing this like expo. They just literally sent me a flyer and they were like, can you promote it? And I was like, sure, like whatever. And I had a bunch of people at Vasa the next week. They were like, hey, you're the Instagram guy. I went to that Supplement Giant event because we saw your video on Instagram. So we're like, we got nothing else going on. We might as well go. So I think we're at this point. We're at a really cool flashpoint in Colorado Springs history where we have the opportunity to build community and get people involved in the community via small businesses, restaurants, little candle shops that are opening up and like these little events, and then ultimately supporting like these bigger events. And I think like that's what people want. And so it's why the accounts are growing. And hopefully, these businesses, if they're good, succeed because they're getting the support from the community.
Totally on board with you, man. I think it's two like opposing forces here in Colorado Springs, right? You have like the old way of like, we want the small town to stay the small town forever. We want our views. We don't want any of that obstructed. We don't want big buildings. We don't want big business moving in here. And then you have like a lot of the pro-growth people, by and large. I mean, there's other subgroups in there, but that's by and large kind of the two opposing forces. It sounds like you're more so like on the side of like pro-growth of this city. Talk a little bit about that. Like, you have just moved here within the past 3 years. You've gotten a small dosage of Colorado Springs, and I would say, Andrew's been here for 6 years now, and he's gotten a pretty decent sized dosage of what it is, but it is changing a lot. And I really, really think that the folks who are transient, who have come here and come from other backgrounds, other states or whatever, could really see the true value of this place. And so I'm like very pro growth in a lot of ways too. But I want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, because you guys have like such a unique perspective because you get to kind of talk to everybody.
Oh yeah.
Right. Like the people that are planning and developing and like really in the thick of like the impacts of that. So here's what I'll say. To again, compare it to like Provo. What's crazy is when I go back to Provo, I graduated in 2013. And when I go back there, like, I don't know if I could move back to Utah because it is crazy. I mean, we got 5-lane highways, both directions between Salt Lake and Provo. I remember like south of Provo, you had Spanish Fork, which was like kind of a little farm town, and it's booming now, like with its own Costco. And like, that tells you the size of it. So I definitely understand the fear of becoming like too big for our britches. And there is a little bit of that, right? Like we've expanded and grown so fast that like some of our infrastructure like hasn't kept up. So I'm definitely for like smart growth. Part of the reason why I'm for smart growth though is because you're not going to stop people from moving here. Period.
It's too beautiful.
It's too beautiful. It's more affordable than Denver. It's still accessible to Denver. So people still move here and work in Denver, right?
Does your wife work at the DIA? Or?
She flies out of DIA. Yeah. And we live in like Southern Colorado Springs. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like, you're not going to stop that. And there's 5 military bases, and we keep winning these big tech and space contracts. And it's not that I don't think that we're going to like explode and become like this insane metropolis, but like, we're not going to slow down. People are not like, the floodgates are not emptying and people are just leaving Colorado Springs en masse. And so I am pro growth in the sense that like, I do want smart growth. But I also want a good quality of life for the people that are here. And you know what improves my quality of life? Good food, local businesses. Like, sure, it's cool that we have a Shields, and we'll say the Interquest, Parkway, right? Like, and all that stuff. But like, I don't ever go there. Like, I go there once a quarter, maybe, because I need to get something. But like, otherwise, I go downtown. I go to Mountain Chalet to get my mountain gear. I go to the restaurants. I go to Eclectic to buy like stuff from artists. I go to Platt Furniture. Have you ever had that guy on, by the way?
We should.
Also named Kyle.
I've
that dude's a homie.
Yeah. I've seen him at Million Cups present before.
Okay. So if one of the questions at the end of this is who should we have on? Kyle from Platt Furniture.
Nice.
Absolute homie.
That's actually a question we never asked that question. We should let's add that in.
You should build that in. Yeah. So Kyle's great. Platt Furniture is awesome. It's not just a used furniture store, for the record. So yeah, so then the greatest question of all is like, because I did come out with a video at the end of my Buc-ee's series, and I was like, I'm pro Buc-ee's. And bro, people got so mad. They're like, you don't even live here. I was like, yes, I do. But the thing is that like, also we need places that employ people. Like, a strong economy is very helpful. Like, with good paying jobs. And Buc-ee's pays really freaking well.
Oh, do they? I didn't know.
Really, brother, really freaking well. Their pay scales are outrageous. It's even for entry level, no skilled labor, right? And so I'm like, I get the beef with the extra tall skyscraper going downtown. I get that, right? Like, I am kind of team like, do we really need that? Can we build that in a different way? Does it really need to be that big? I don't know. There's a lot of empty office space downtown. I don't know. But like, man, I also love what we're doing with the revitalization of downtown and like making it more walkable. I would love to see, dude, nobody's done this yet, but I would love to see a trolley or a tram between OCC, Tejon, downtown, and then Tejon, over where Dos Santos is.
That's brilliant.
You know what I'm talking about? Like Sugar's, Dos Santos, Louis, Kawadi, because like you're stuck. Like if you go to whatever, Cowboys is the first thing that comes to my mind. If you go to like that area of Tejon, like that's where you are. You can't get to Louis. You can't get to Dos Santos and Kawadi.
You can't. It just takes 15 minute walk.
Yeah, exactly right. It's like a long walk, and like nobody's going to do
7 blocks or whatever.
Yeah, nobody's going to do that when it's 25 degrees outside. So, so like that, I think would be a really cool. Like if we could figure out a trolley system or a, just a bus that's doing that route.
Absolutely,
it might be a hot mess.
They do have the free shuttle though, which is not a trolley, but a trolley would be good. But the shuttle downtown is free, I do believe.
Really? I feel like I've never seen this shuttle. Not the bus.
It's the bus is what I meant actually. Yeah, not a shuttle. Yeah, sorry.
It's free?
It's free, yeah.
Oh, hot damn. I didn't know that.
It's okay. So, but a trolley's cooler though.
Yeah, I think a trolley would be sick. Like old school, like San Francisco looking trolley.
Absolutely.
But anyway, all that to say, like we want good paying jobs. We want also jobs where we're attracting high income earners, right? So these tech and space jobs and engineering, like we want that stuff. And we also want jobs that are like lower skill, right? That don't require a professional degree, but that still can pay well. And like that ultimately helps our economy. Now where people are going to be like, you're just a realtor and like you've inflated the housing markets. Like, first of all, I didn't do anything.
That's funny.
But
hold on, I need to superimpose SpongeBob's face over there. Oh,
yeah, it did kind of sound like SpongeBob, didn't it? But what I'll say to that is like, again, because the first thing that you said, it's like, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. The quality of life dramatically, my quality of life skyrocketed when I moved here.
Mine too.
And I like, people in Colorado like to remind you that you're a transplant. Like, I'm a native and you're a transplant. And you're like, yeah, but I respect this place. I love this place. I support this place. I buy local. I hike. I mountain bike. I ski.
So you don't identify as trans?
Dude, no, I don't. I moved here. Yeah, I moved here and like I take full advantage of it. And I think the more type of stuff that we have, even though it's growth, like it ultimately supports the people that do live here, whether that's via the tourism industry or because there's more jobs for them to find. Like, but that also comes with a little bit higher cost of living. And it's hard to balance that. Like, I don't think you can policy your way out of that necessarily because all policy is just made up. Everybody hates you. The government does not care about you. They're lying to you about everything at every level of government, for the record, if you didn't know that. But like, we just have to, like, as a community, kind of take care of ourselves and our own and like support good local businesses. That is my like MO, and it's what makes me happy. And like, that's why this business, like I said, has been so fun, because I get to help people move here that have been dreaming of it for a long time, or they found out that they're moving here. And like, I tell them, I'm like, listen, I am staying here because I love it.
Yeah.
So like, you can feel good about the moving. They're like, okay. Cause they're like anxious, they've never been here before. They're far away from family. So
do your leads come from your social media?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Almost all of the leads come from social media and our YouTube channel.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause again, like people find out and they want to see what it's like. And then they see that like they can see video and then they get to know me a little bit. Right. And they kind of figure out my quirks and they're like, I like that guy. Or they say, he's an asshole. I don't like him. I like Kim. Right. And because they watch Kim's videos and she's a phenomenal mother and she's a phenomenal agent and she's also a phenomenal community member. Like let me tell you about Kim. I'm kind of putting them on blast because they told me that they're going to do this. Maybe it's a secret. Well, they started this. She started her big thing was the incline. She's always on the incline, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then she started kind of that like community. And so they started doing like community climbs together. And then when Crazy Bob did his 500th the other day, like they're out there. When Dad's Donuts did the thing on Thanksgiving, like they're out there. So like the incline is very much a part of their life and their story. And they're continually trying to find ways to build community and get people outdoors. I can't actually tell what their little secret is that they're going to do for 2026 for the incline, but they're going to make winter climbing of the incline more accessible is their goal. And I'm like, so I think that's so cool, right? Like, and so if you vibe with Kim, like people gravitate towards her and Josiah, and that's awesome because like I gravitate towards them too. I love them. So social media has just been a really fun way to do that. Like just for you guys, right? Like I'm assuming, right? It's introduced you to all kinds of people that you're like, under other circumstances, you never would have met the guy that did Brother Luck, right? And now you guys have expanded like out of just Colorado Springs, you're doing Colorado business.
Oh yeah.
Which I know this podcast is technically about me, but I'm curious about how did that happen?
Oh man, it took a couple of years for us to really hit the rebrand because we've been thinking about it for quite some time.
Cool.
So we had like a whole mixer.
We wanted to expand our scope, essentially.
Yeah.
Like we wanted to grow,
Yeah.
2 weeks ago we had a mixer and we launched it so we invited past guests who come from the show.
Cool.
And so we all came, and it wasn't a very big room. It was only a room that could hold 35 people, so it wasn't big enough. But we got
and we planned it last minute, so we knew it wasn't going to be like super big.
So we knew it was going to be something a little bit low key, but it was just such a hit. And like
the Brit pub. Have you been there yet?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, you like that spot?
Yeah. I mean, it's a classic.
Oh yeah.
We love Nova too. He's been on the show many times, and he was
that
part of the whole thing, the whole announcement and stuff. So like our big thing is like we want to be able to cover the state of Colorado, but we want people to really ask like, hey, the Colorado Business Podcast, why is it not in Denver? Why is it in Colorado Springs?
Because it's better here.
Yeah. So we want people to ask that question, and we always want to be in person. So like the guests that we get from Fort Collins, they're gonna have to come down here at 6:30 p.m. on a Tuesday to film their episode.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
And so
hopefully we get our own space too. I mean, maybe we don't want to talk about that yet. I don't know, but if once we have our own space, we can film earlier.
Yeah.
Potentially. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or on a weekend.
That's cool. Well, and I think that that's cool in general because, have you guys ever connected with the Developing Denver guys? Developing Denver, the Instagram page?
I know Naked Denver, which is kind of like a development page.
Oh, cool. Okay. I have some really good connections. It's a guy that does similar content to me, but he does it in Castle Rock. His name's Rick Gonzalez.
Okay.
And he's connected with the Developing Denver guys.
I think we do follow
They
them,
do
actually.
some really, really cool stuff. So I'll introduce you guys, but because that's like a great connection into the Denver. And then, people are really curious though. Like a cool story at some point would be like Buena Vista was just a little mountain town. And then that guy, from what I understand, that guy redid that hotel, whatever that hotel is called. I can't remember. This is a terrible story, but he like redid that hotel and like 2 restaurants or something like that. And Buena Vista now is like major hotspot.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Right.
I heard about it when I first got here,
and so to me, it goes back to your question. It's like, it's the power of small business. Like it's not Starbucks that's going to do that. Right. Like I'm fundamentally opposed to Starbucks and I just go to local coffee shops, but it's not bad to have a Starbucks. It helps the economy. People get jobs. Sure. I don't hate the Interquest Parkway. I'm not like a purist. It's not that I'll never shop at Shields, but it's like the power of it's like these guys and girls that take these big risks and they're like, this is the place I feel called and this is the business that I want to open. And this is the food truck that I want to open, or this is the event. Like this is the venue, Louis. Like it's that type of stuff that like, man, what is there to do in Colorado Springs? Where should I eat? Where is the best brunch spot? And I love adding places to it. Like, oh my God, that list gets longer and longer. And that makes our city like just so much more desirable and a better place to live.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like those things don't happen unless someone dreams it and someone puts their effort into it. And like every single one of those places like was some came from someone's head and they decided to go for it. And like, I
takes a
got
huge
lots of
risk.
respect for entrepreneurs.
And they take a huge risk to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, some people, it's not good.
Oh yeah.
Actually, say that
for the
local
majority
food
of
is
them,
good.
for the majority of businesses, they actually don't make it.
Yeah, because it's freaking tough.
Yeah.
But, you know, for like both of our types of content, like the idea is like to highlight these people and like make sure the community knows about it. And if it's like, if it deserves to be there, then like the community will show up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's awesome. I love that.
You got me excited actually. I can't wait to, you know, find a really cool business in Buena Vista, you know, and like have them on the show, you know, go to Trinidad or, you know,
the
like,
hotel guy, right?
The hotel guy.
That would be great. Yeah.
Yeah. Once we have our phones back, we'll look at, I'll figure out what that restaurant is, but or the hotel, because the guy he's like a regular out there. And now Buena Vista is doing this, they do like a summer, like mini festival concert.
I used to do festivals back in the day.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Like EDM festivals?
Tiny house festivals.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
So BV is doing these, like kind of like mini 2 or 3 day EDM type festivals. It's different artists. So we went to one this year. We went and saw Pretty Lights out there.
Oh,
and so there's this huge place called Meadow. And it's like, I mean, like lines of, you know, camper vans and whatever, and people like camp out there. But then there's a shuttle taking you back and forth between the city. And, you know, they've got like, you have to stop the music by like 11 per the city ordinance and whatever. But it was so rad. And like, it's again, somebody taking a risk and being like, hey, how can we do this and not destroy the vibe of the town, but like give people a way to like boost the hell out of this economy. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's awesome. I love it.
Oh, that's so great. Well, I also wanted to highlight something about you too that you don't really boast too much about, but you recently did, which I think is really special and really great, is you gave away like a donation to a family here in need, and you kind of used the community to select that specific family.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that, because I thought that was really special, man.
Okay. Don't zoom in on me if I cry, but I probably will. Yeah, that's something that, let me start with this. A few years ago, I did it was during COVID. It was like a virtual Tony Robbins event. And I felt like he was speaking directly to me. So when I say this, it was like he was like speaking one-on-one with Kyle. He was like, you know, everybody always, people tell me all the time, they're like, well, it's easy for you to donate money. You're basically a billionaire, you know? So it's easy for you to like feed a billion families and do all this stuff. Yeah, maybe when I get some more money, I'll donate too. And he was like, no, you won't. And I was like, oh, that was like, no, you won't. He was like, because if you won't give a dime out of a dollar, you won't give 10 out of 100. You won't give 100 out of 1,000. You won't give 1,000 out of 10,000. You won't give anything out of 100,000 because you'll always say, when I make more, I'll give. And I was like, dude, that's exactly what I've been saying. And when I got into the business and I started getting, especially when I really started kind of like understanding the impact of housing, you know, how big of a deal it is, how hard it is to get into, to buy a home for most people, especially people that don't have like something amazing like the VA loan. Like there's still other programs that help, but it's still really challenging, especially. And yeah, our market is really hard for first-time home buyers. And so I talked to my wife and she was super on board. And I was like, I set aside 10% of all my income, pre-tax actually. And I said it's in a different account. And that's the hardest part, is like separating it. And because then when I give, I can just give with compassion and empathy and love. And I'm not trying to like make this long-winded or like sound like a sermon, but this book that I read a few years ago is actually called From Homeless to Billionaire. And the literal only thing that I remember from that book was he was like, I learned that when you give, everyone talks about like, when you give, you get more in return. But it doesn't mean that when you give money, you get more money in return. Like that is not factually true. Or if you give service, you get service in return. That also makes no sense. Like if I mow my neighbor's lawn, it doesn't mean that somebody's going to show up and mow my lawn. Like that's not science. But what he explained is he was like, but the energy with which you give is what you get back. So if you give with love and compassion and empathy and care, like that will come back. And I was like, well, that sounds awesome. But it only comes back if you can give. So separating the money early, like that, the hard part is already done. And now that money just sits in the account. And like, whenever I feel called to give, I can just give, whether it's a GoFundMe or it's a server that was really amazing that like, I just feel like, whatever. But I really wanted to like help somebody with their mortgage or rent, whatever it was, and like cover it as much as I could. And so I had kind of throughout the year given, and I had about $7,000 sitting in this account. And I was like, man, I just feel like this would be really impactful. And so I posted a video, and it was really hard because I was really trying to walk that really fine line of like, I don't want to seem self-aggrandizing. Like, this is not about me at all. I just happen to be the vessel, right? Just let me be the vessel and do something good. And God bless the community. Like nobody, not a single person like attacked me for it, which I was like, oh, thank God. Cause like I was not emotionally ready for that.
Yeah.
But so what I did is I just asked for nominations because I was like, listen, you guys know people that are struggling. And I'll tell you, man, I got 24 nominations and 24 heartbreaking stories. And reading through them, like, I ended up reading through like 3 times over multiple days. And dude, it was just so emotional, like just crying, reading these stories, and crying also because it was like, I have to like, it's like, that by choosing one, you're not choosing 23.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And so I had some guidance and some, mentorship. I talked with my wife, so I narrowed them down and then I sent them to my wife because I was like, you don't need to read all of these, but these are the ones that like I'm feeling pulled to. And then for me, I made a decision. I was like, my morals and my ethics, like it has to be a family with kids. Because I knew that I would feel like I was missing something if I didn't do that. And so then she helped kind of narrow down and some of the mentorship really kind of helped give me clarity and like, this is how you're going to choose. You have said that this was the gift. You can't help all 24. By the way, there's 10,000 more people in Colorado Springs that need your help. They just didn't see the nomination form. So like, that's not what this is about. You're going to find one person to meaningfully help. So we did. So we chose this family and this beautiful family. It was awesome. They had 5 kids under 9 and just had some pretty serious financial setbacks and a couple really bad strokes of just bad luck, a series of unfortunate events. And we got connected to them and it was beautiful. And I think you saw the video, but the amount that we gave them ended up being like exactly the amount. She was like, that number doesn't make sense to me. How is that number on the check? Because that is exactly the amount that we need to like pull ourselves out of this situation. And we had no idea. So that was really cool. But what we also did is my wife and I then restructured some things because there was another family, a single mom who lost her house, 3 kids, and she's just like 2-jobbing it up and she's living with a friend. And so we pulled together another $2,500 and delivered it to her. And the way that we got connected to her was through Instagram or I think it was through TikTok. It was a guy that reached out to me on TikTok and he's a local chef. I mean, he's kind of like trying to like he does catering. He does these big meals like for Christmas, like you can hire him and he'll do the smoked prime rib and all this stuff. And he had reached out about the VA loan and told me about this woman and her little family. And so he went with us to deliver it. And it was beautiful. It was emotional. And everyone was crying and whatever. And then he and I tomorrow are delivering because like, I don't really have any more money that's set aside for that. But there was another family. It's a grandmother who by unfortunate circumstances is now the caregiver of these grandchildren. And she's like a grandmother and she's a school lunch lady And it's like,
Oh man.
it's like, that's not how she planned her life. And so, he's doing this big 18-pound turkey and this big meal, and we're going to deliver it to them tomorrow. They have no idea that it's coming. They just know something's being delivered, but they don't know what. So it was just like another way that we could give. And so now he and I are going to partner throughout the year to do that, like multiple times.
Brother.
It's just like, I'll tell you this, is that like once upon a time, this guy said this thing called, it was kind of these 4 principles, like make money, multiply money, protect your money, and then make money matter. And that make money matter thing has really stuck with me. And I've always wanted my business to be a for-purpose business, like Tom's, right? Tom's shoes.
Mm-hmm.
You buy a pair of shoes, they donate a pair of shoes. Bamba socks, you donate, you buy a pair of socks, they donate socks. Like those for-purpose businesses, maybe there's tax benefit. I don't know what the heck they're doing, but
even if there are, they're still doing it.
But even if they are, they're still doing it.
Yeah.
Right. And I wasn't. And I was like, I want to do that. I want to have a for-purpose business. And it was funny because like some of my friends, Kim actually was one of them that was kind of giving me some advice, and her and Josiah. And I was just like, in tears. And I was like, dude, just like $7,000 just like doesn't feel like enough, Cause I read all these stories and I'm like, fuck, dude, even if I give $7,000 to all of them, like, first of all, that's a lot of money. Like I don't have that much money to give. And I was like, and then even like this family, like, what if $7,000 like barely puts a dent, because like I know how crippling all this debt can be. And she was like, dude, it is more than. And so anyway, so it reinvigorates me. And now like I really understand that for-purpose business, because now every closing that I'm looking at, and I don't advertise this to like my clients. I'm not like 10% of every, whatever goes to fucking this thing or that thing. Like I don't do that, because it's not why I'm doing it. It's just like, but now as I look at these closings, I'm like, okay, how much money am I going to be setting aside from here? I didn't get to help that family, but I still really want to. Like there's these families that like, maybe some of them nominated themselves because they were hurting. And I was like, God dang it. And I'm just like, maybe I can get something and help them out, So it fundamentally changed me. Like, I'll say that, like deciding to set aside that my own personal tithing or charitable giving account, that was really powerful. And then finding this way to actually, like in 3 hours, I gave away $10,000, but $9,500. And I felt so good about it. Like there was no angst, because it was just like, it was set aside for that. And I was like, good luck. I'm not going to monitor what you do with this. Like, but you guys seem like stewards and you know what you need better than I know. So it was pretty cool. It was awesome.
It's interesting because that stream, that Tony Robbins stream, which kind of sounds like the precipice of all of this.
Yeah.
There was 1 million people on that stream, and I wonder, and so like Tony Robbins already doing his own like giving back, and he impacted you, like, and then I wonder like his impact is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's a really good point. It's like, it's almost like a way for him to multiply his giving.
Yeah.
It's like he's literally fed 1 billion families. Like it's crazy, right? Through all of his things. And he's done so much philanthropy. And then, I didn't think about that. And then it's like, he gives even more by inspiring others to give freely and in the right way, and that's a really fascinating way to look at it and think about that.
He does that every year now, right? He started doing that free stream and during COVID, and it kind of just went off, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It blew up. And then he still does his regular, like the in-person 3-day events and stuff like that, which I've never been to, but I want to go to.
Yeah, me too.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I have some friends that have gone to it and they're like, it's unbelievable. But yeah, so it just, I don't know. And again, I wanted, like, I have a kind of a national reach with my audience because the VA loan is for anybody, but I very much was like, no, the nominations, I want it to be here.
Hold on, the VA loans.
The VA loan you can use anywhere in the country.
You can use it anywhere in the country.
Yeah.
I thought you said it's for anybody. It's specifically for veterans, right?
Specifically for veterans, yeah. And so, but you can use it anywhere in the country. So there's people that follow my page that live in Florida. But like, I wanted to get back to our community, right? Like I wanted to help out our community. And so I made sure that the nominations were like, they needed to be local to Colorado Springs. And that was cool. It was really cool.
talk about just briefly, of course, but like talk about like when you did give away that first check. 'Cause I saw, I mean, it was on video, right?
Yeah.
Like you gave him the check. It was like an envelope. Like what was going through your head during that moment?
Okay, I'll give you the honest tea. It was kind of funny because, like, have you guys seen MD Motivator on Instagram? Oh, dude, if you just want to just cry,
Okay.
MD Motivator. It's this kid named Zach. This guy named Zach. And I don't really know his backstory, but he kind of had a rough upbringing, and he does this. His whole page is like finding people to give money to. And he kind of does it in this very clever way. Like sometimes he's like asking for help, and then this person like doesn't
I've
have
seen it. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
they don't have anything, but they're like, let me get you something. Like, this is all I have, but let me give you. And he's like, why did you help me? And he's like, because you asked, man, because you needed help. And then he's like, I have something for you. And he gives them $1,000, and they just like, they're homeless, or they just got evicted, or their kids are down the street, right? Like, and so what's funny is I was like trying to also set myself up for it. It's like, I did not film because that's what I wanted to happen. I filmed because I told people that I was going to do it. And I was like, I need to be an honest broker, and I want people to know that I actually did this, right? And I got permission from the family. I was like, do you mind if my wife films? And they said, no, that's totally fine. So first and foremost. But it was a little funny because, as you saw in the video, like the husband is just like so gentle. He's just like, wow. And like some of those videos for MD Motivator that like go crazy viral, that's not what I was going for. I wouldn't have been upset if it went crazy viral. Obviously,
It's
I'm
kind
not
of like
stupid,
a reference point for you at this
but it's like a reference point
Right.
because I've seen him do these videos, and people just have like start breaking down and crying. And so it was kind of funny because I was like, well, it wasn't totally the reaction that I was expecting. They were very composed. And, but again, I talked to like some mentors of mine, and because same question, they're like, how'd it go? And I was like, it was great. It was amazing. Like, it felt good. I feel like really good about it. And I was like, it was just curious. It was interesting. Like the reaction wasn't exactly what I expected. And they were like, but some people just like, some people are emotional and some people aren't. And some people it's like quiet, like relief. And you could see it in the video.
It might have been a little bit of shock too, to be
and
honest.
shock,
Yeah.
right? And they're like, that's a big check for some dude to just show up. And you're like, in fact, when I went to go deliver the other one, I called Jamie Mickey. He's the guy that had nominated her. And he was like, and I was like, we're going to go do this. And he was like, with all due respect, this is not a scam, is it? And I was like, no, it's a real check. Like, we're really doing this. He was like, okay, this just seems wild. And I was like, it is wild. Let's go do it. And he was like, okay. And then we showed up and it was amazing. But yeah, so like shock was definitely for real. And then really with the second one, we gave her $2,500. That was she was very emotional, and but the most impactful, the thing that I'll remember for the rest of my life is she was like, I was hugging her, and she was like, she said, that was the first deep breath that I've taken in months. Right. And I was like, oh, dude, we did some good. It's not going to solve all her problems, but like we did some good. And like that, I was like, ah. So like, and doing those we literally back to back did those. And just like me and my wife went home, and we just like felt so good. We were like, ah, this is what it's about. The holiday season and business and giving back and being part of the community. So it was cool. Like we couldn't have dreamed up anything better. The only thing that would have been better is if it was daytime. Because when I posted this other video, it was like at nighttime. We're literally on the street corner. So the video is kind of.
It gets dark so early though.
It gets dark so early. God dang it. And I was like, bummer. It would have been great to do this in the afternoon when the light was better, but whatever.
Dude, you guys are incredible, man. I mean, just being here only 3-4 years, the years that you've been here and the impact that you've made, and not only, what you're doing for the community, but like the profile that you have, the impact that you're doing for local businesses and what you're doing for your own even brokerage, which is just so incredible. So I have to give you your flowers for that. This has been such a fun interview. I'm so glad we finally got to meet you. You've been tagging us. We're going to tag you and reshare your stuff. And this has been truly just such a great interview, man. Thank you so much for coming on. This has been great.
Thank you. I appreciate it. No, thank you guys for having me. And And again, for doing what you guys are doing, because it gives platform. Like these stories are so cool. And I think at the core, they help inspire the next wave of entrepreneurs.
For sure.
Right. Like to hear these stories of like what you guys are doing. It's like, how did this happen? Or like what struggles, you know? And then people go, oh, I could like overcome that. Especially because you can like kind of ask ChatGPT or Gemini, like to kind of mentor you through the process. So hopefully like we continue to see like a good wave of entrepreneurship and growth in a positive way that builds the community and just makes this the coolest place to live, but still lame. You want to keep Colorado Springs lame. I get it. But like, we still want it to be nice. I still want to eat good food, damn it. So
This is awesome. Well, Kyle, this is your camera. Where can we find you, sir?
most active on Instagram at Real Kyle Pettit. And it's the same on TikTok. It is the same on YouTube. And it is the same on Facebook, Real Kyle Pettit. That is the flow. And if you are eligible for the VA loan, I wrote a book on the VA loan.
Yeah, I forgot to bring that up. Actually.
Yeah,
That's
I
just
wrote a book called Your VA Loan Blueprint. It's on Barnes and Nobles. If you can't find it, just shoot me a DM. I'll shoot you a free link to it. It's just a little ebook. It's easy to read. It's easy to understand. And it is it sounds like I'm reading it to you, basically, is how I wrote it. So that's the play.
Awesome. Well, sweet. Well, this has been the COS Business, I did it again, the Colorado Business Podcast, and we'll see you guys on the next one.